It's pre-market, but yesterday after the market closed, I noticed that there was enough of a reason for me to get a little bit of protection. So this is the gamma exposure profile, and I noticed that there was a decent spike at 740. So I decided to protect my positions that I'm currently holding for the week. This is the overnight activity right here, and we can see the market went straight down to 740, and this is where it bounced. That area also coincided with a demand zone that I had marked up on my charts that was left over from the previous couple weeks. Now, in the previous video that I released, I also showed that I saw this yesterday and I was leaving out the exact position. As you guys saw in the previous video, I had an SPX position that was using some butterflies, but I decided to run with an ES puts position also. So this was the long put that I purchased here. It was the 7,450 strike, and I bought it for 850. Now, if you trade futures, you know that the price of an ES option is going to cost you half of what it is. So if you see that it is selling for $10 and you decide to buy them, it's only going to cost you $500 to actually buy the contract. So I purchased this contract, and then the market's gapped down overnight. Now, the reasons behind the gap down, there's all sorts of headlines coming out of what's going on overseas. Now, the reasons is generally not something I'm that much concerned with, but I'm aware of the tensions going on over there. The data that I saw on the charts was just confirming something that I already had suspicions about. Now, on top of that, we have my weekly analysis with the gamma exposure that I often do. Something else that was alarming to me yesterday was the fact that the ADD just looked so dead all day long, as well as the ADSPD just looked so dead, even though the markets did have this intraday bounce as I discussed in the previous video. Now, with all of these things combined, because I am holding some weekly options, I am targeting this area on a bigger position, but I still wanted some extra protection overnight. And nothing in terms of a position is going to offer better protection than just buying a put. Now, I took a look at this here and I said, hey, if the market was to drop about how much percent to 740, and I saw that it was around 1%. So I then went ahead and took a look at different options, and I said, hey, if the ES was to drop 1%, where does that put it? And it puts it right in this area about here, which was about this strike price here of 7,470. I just looked for an option that had a decent amount of liquidity that was close to the area, and that's how I ended up choosing the 7,450 strike. So nothing too scientific about it. The exact drop, in which this would be about a 100-point drop or a 1.3% decline in the markets. Now, the edge, or the thing that's neat, is whenever you call a position like that correctly. So this is just the long put. Because I purchased this put for Friday's expiration before the markets got here, and I ended up being right in terms of the direction, the first thought process I had this morning is, how can I protect some of these profits? I didn't want to close the put yet. I went with the ES because I wanted to have some overnight flexibility. I wanted to be able to trade pre-market. I wanted to be able to trade after hours if I needed to. Let's just say the market's bounced and it came all the way up here. I wanted to be able to just realize the loss. I didn't want to just buy SPY puts or SPX puts because, again, I wanted to be able to trade the options in the extended hours. Now, as soon as I saw that the market was in this zone here, it wasn't that early. I was up in time for this, so it's around 6 a.m. Eastern time here. So it wasn't anything that required me to wake up at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. This is a normal time in which I might wake up anyway. So that meant I had a couple of options. I could have realized the gains on the puts, but then I would have run the risk of what would have happened if the markets just continued to drop. But I identified that this was an area of confluence, and it was also an area in which I should have looked to take the market long, but I still wanted the exposure to the downside. So what did I do? I then sold a put, but this time I sold a put for the Thursday expiration. So today's Wednesday. So in other words, I sold a 1 DTE put, whereas I'm still holding the 2 DTE put. I sold this put for 1750. Now, with that logic, 1750 divided by 2 is going to be $875. So in other words, by selling this put for 1750, I essentially received a credit that matched the profits that I was up for the put I was long. That means it creates a position that has essentially no risk, because if the market was to bounce, call it 2%, there's still going to be a profit of at least $500. If the market went a little bit lower, let's just say it continues to drop another 2%, there's still room to squeeze out a little bit more profit. Now, if the market goes another day, so this is now tomorrow, the gains are still going to be protected because this put was sold for so much. It is a guaranteed X amount of profit in my pocket. Now, after tomorrow, this contract is going to either expire at zero, meaning I would have realized the complete credit on this position here, or the market is going to continue to go lower, which means I can then decide, as long as it is not lower than 7,440. So I sold a put that is down here. So I'm short this put, but I'm long this put. So that 10-point difference offers a buffer for my position, meaning if the market was to continue to keep going lower, at the end of the day, this put would be in the money. So it is essentially a spread. It's kind of turning it into a diagonal spread after the fact. Now, obviously, this is not a strategy that you can recreate all the time. It first requires you to call the direction right. But whenever you get the direction right and the market makes a decent move, we're talking about a 1% move overnight in your favor, you can do something like this as opposed to just realizing the gains. This creates the opportunity that is highly favorable in which you can squeeze out more profit, or puts you in a position to hold your initial position a little bit longer, because now let's just say by Friday the market was to be down another 1% from where it is. As you guys can see, there's the possibility of doubling the profits or almost tripling it, because the gains would have already been realized from this position, and this is another position here that is almost treated separately. This was the initial one, and this was a position that cost $4.25. So $450 is how much that put, or $425 is how much that put was purchased for. So it has already created a position in which the returns is protected around 200% if I was to realize it right now. I'm sharing this with the intent to expose you guys to some other options that you have. And by options, I don't mean what we trade here. I just mean decisions that you can make with managing your positions. It first started by some of the usual things that I look at. Then it came from taking a look at some additional data. Then it came back to looking at the charts. Again, I use the ES, I trade the SPY options, I trade SPX, I trade ES options, I trade the MES, trade them all. They are all derivatives of the same thing. The analysis applies across all of these instruments, but then if I'm going to do anything in the after hours, I'm going to either just trade the futures, or I'm going to trade with futures options. And if I'm looking to protect myself, I'm looking for a hedge, I'm generally going to be looking first and foremost at what is the puts to purchase. Hopefully you guys learned something on this video, as well as the previous couple of videos in which I've put out, as they're kind of connected, as I'm showing you guys different strategies, as well as different ways to analyze the markets, and then also examples of how you can execute on your analysis. Thanks for watching, guys. If you're new here, leave a comment down below, subscribe to this YouTube channel, like it if you learned something, and I'll catch you on the next one.